So today we are out touring Lacey, Washington. So Lacey is in the South Sound. It is 10 to 15 minutes from JBLM, and it is right near Olympia.
It's a tri-city area. So it kind of like, there's 3 cities that all grew, and as they grew, they just kind of spread into each other, and then the lines get moved a little bit as each city annexes more and more territory into itself. So it's a weird combination of 3 towns, 3 cities.
Right.
Lacey, Olympia, and Tumwater. So proximity-wise, we are about 45-50 minutes when you're in Lacey to the airport. I always like to mention that because people like to know how long it takes to get to the airport. So that gives you an idea of proximity to Seattle as well. It's about an hour.
Yeah, and so talking about airports, one of the things that like my husband and I do is it's like 45-50 minutes to Seattle. It's also like an hour and a half to Portland. So sometimes we fly out of Portland. So that's an option when you're down in the Lacey, Olympia area, is that you can also look at flying out of Portland.
And sometimes the flights are cheaper out of Portland.
And Portland airport's a little bit easier to navigate. Mm-hmm. So there's options is my point when you're looking at airports once you get down there.
Yep. As far as restaurants go, Lacey's a little bit bigger city, so there's quite a bit more going on. So typically we only do 3 or 4 restaurants when we're talking about these things, but I think we're gonna have 5 or 6 this time because there's too many to choose from.
Yeah, I think Ricardo's is one of our favorite patios, our favorite drinks. They have great food. They have really great steaks. It's a great place to go with your friends, but it's also a really good date night place. There's just lots of options with Ricardo's.
Yep. And the Ram is another one where we spend a lot of little happy hour moments because they have an excellent happy hour menu. And it's also a bar. It's a sports bar. And it's right off the freeway, so it's really easy to access from just about anywhere if you're coming or going from work or shopping or whatever. It's just super easy to get to. Dirty Dave's is kind of one of those cool old-timey pizza places. I remember going there as a kid. It was like a favorite. They have an arcade. They have a salad bar. I don't know anywhere else that has a salad bar anymore.
Yeah.
Their pizza is different. It's a little bit thin crust style, so not everybody loves their pizza, but I do. I think it's fantastic. And then they have this sandwich. It's called the Dave's something. I can't remember, but oh my gosh, my kids love this little sandwich. It's so good. Ebony and Ivory Coffee Shop.
Yeah.
I don't know how many paychecks I've spent in that place.
Right.
So many.
Yeah, the vibe there is super cool.
Yeah,
and it's locally owned. I love that Ebony and Ivory has like all their little community things that they do too. So like there's little like pop-up markets that they host throughout the summer, and it's all like local woodworking. I've gotten so many like cutting boards there for my clients that are literally like carved out of the trees and like list what types of wood. You can go get candles or local baked goods. I love that they host the little community. It just gives it a really cool vibe. And we have like, if you're wanting a dessert, the little Nom Nom shop, that's very like specialty. It's all desserts. They have cheesecake on a stick, stuff like that. So
I've seen it and I've thought about going in there. I've never gone in.
Yeah, my kids love it because they can get like cheesecake on a stick, or they'll have like these huge cookies and they are like intricately painted. It's a dessert shop, and my kids love that place. So
as far as shopping goes, it's kind of just about everything that you could possibly need, from Target to Marshall's. They have Kohl's. There's a lot of major shopping, and then grocery store wise, Fred Meyer, Safeway,
QFC.
There's QFC out on the east side. Yes.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends on where you're at, what you're closest to. So like we live closest to like QFC, Safeway, but there is a big Fred Meyer that has a gas station. QFC has a gas station. So like you can get your little rewards. Some of the Safeways do and some of them don't have the gas stations. So
yep. And then Costco over in the Hawkesbury area, which we have another video that outlines Hawkesbury more specifically, but that's where everybody does their major shopping over there. There's a couple of mud bays in Lacey on either side of town for your dog food.
So neighborhoods in Lacey. I mean, there's a lot of neighborhoods. So Lacey is like what? It's 50,000 or more now.
Yeah, it's like 48,000, I think.
Yeah, so it's definitely growing, and so there's lots of neighborhoods. But you have like Old Lacey that is very much like your non-HOA, lower price point. Houses aren't quite as big, but they probably have bigger lots. That's something you can still find here. But then you also have newer neighborhoods that were master plan communities. So there's lots of versatility depending on what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. There's both rentals and options to buy. There's apartments, condos, and new construction.
Yep, one of the new construction neighborhoods that is still going is Bradley Park over by North Thurston High School on that side of town, closer to the hospital. But they're building another 100 homes out there in the next couple of years. So we'll have new construction going on in Lacey for as far as we can see into the future.
Yeah, and they put them together pretty quickly, but they are very nice looking, and they have range in sizes and prices. So they have houses that don't have a lot of yard maintenance, and then they have houses that are bigger, that have a little bit bigger yards. So there's options there, which I thought was super smart when they were planning that community. And I thought it was cute that they put a dog park into the actual
that was a good
neighborhood.
Idea. Very good idea. And there's several golf course communities, neighborhoods, Indian Summer.
That's gated.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Capital City is more of a public course, and it's very old school. All the homes are built in like the late 70s, early 80s. It's cute. And then Horizon Point is right next to Capital City, but it's not technically a golf course community, but it's right in between two golf courses. So there's still a lot of golfers that live there and walk and go golf often. And Horizon Point is more of a master plan community. It's got different builders that came in there over a period of several years, and townhomes, apartments, condos, all of it.
Yep. And there's elementary schools on both sides of that.
Speaking of schools, that's all North Thurston School District.
Yes.
So, and then we do have 3 high schools, and one of them's called North Thurston High School, which confuses the heck out of people. I think back in the day there was only one high school, so it was North Thurston School District and North Thurston High School, but now there's Timberline and River Ridge also in Lacey.
Yes. And then there's 5 middle schools that feed those. So there is Chinook, which feeds into North Thurston High School. And then there is Camachin, which feeds into Timberline. And there's Salish that feeds into River Ridge. And then you have Nisqually that part of them go to River Ridge and part of them go to Timberline. And then I guess the other big one is that there's Aspire Middle School. And Aspire is a lottery-based middle school, and it's very focused on arts. So there's like debate club and choir and band and orchestra and drama club, and so it very much is focused in on a specific niche of student that just kind of gives them an opportunity to explore those things. But they do not have sports at Aspire.
Yeah, but they can go to whatever local middle school that they would be zoned to and go play sports. So it doesn't exclude them. They just have to bus over, which is kind of cool. I really like our school system. My kids go to school at North Thurston.
Mine too.
And I find it's been an amazing experience for both of them. So if you're thinking about moving to the area, it's definitely a good place to.
Yeah, my kids have done really well in the North Thurston School District. Like, we originally came here from Texas, and my kids are super happy. They love their teachers. We play lots of sports. We're very involved, and we've had great opportunities, and my kids are success stories of that school.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun place to grow up.
And then there's obviously lots of elementary schools because they become a little bit more like neighborhoody, right? So we can't even list all those, but you do want to make sure that if this is an area you're thinking about moving to or trying to figure out where you'd want to be, you look at the lines because they redraw them all the time. And your kid, you might think, oh, it makes sense because I live across the street from Mountain View Elementary, that my kids go to Mountain View Elementary, but they might go to Pleasant Glade, and you can literally like see the school. So always check. We always tell people, if you need the link, let us know. We'll send you the link. You put the address in like you're gonna get a bus ride to school, and it will tell you which school they're busing you to. So it's the safest way to kind of check.
Yeah, there's just so many, it's hard to track all of them. So as far as parks go, there's tons of parks in the area. One of my favorites is Rainier Vista, because my kids are volleyball kids. They love to play volleyball, and they have sand courts there and space for grass volleyball. And then we coached soccer when they were super little, so we spent a lot of time at Rainier Vista Park. And the playground is really cute. If you've got little kids, it's like perfect.
That's one of our favorites too. But the rack, we can't forget about the rack.
Oh yeah, the rack is huge. It's more on the Hawks Prairie side of Lacey. But that is a baseball community park. Holy cow. I mean, they have all the other things too.
They have big soccer fields too.
My nieces play softball, and we were at the rack watching their softball games all the time. And when my son was playing baseball as a kid, we were always at the rack.
Yep, and they're actually just improved it. So they just added a bunch of more parking to it, which is pretty cool because people come in from all over for these baseball tournaments and softball tournaments. They do have soccer fields that also now are lit. So they have big soccer games there now too, but they have 4 basketball courts, and they also have just a really excellent playground. Mm-hmm. And they have that walking trail that goes up the hill. There's lots of neighborhood parks. So like Horizon Point is a good example. There's little parks in there, but there's also a huge park with soccer fields in there as well.
Yep, the local football teams all practice at Horizon Point Park. It's a city park, even though it's in the neighborhood. And similarly, but older, Wonderwood Park is in the middle of a neighborhood. It's hard to find. Like, if you didn't know it was there, you would never know.
And there's 4 different entrances.
Tucked in between all these houses, and there's like a little tiny way to go back in and get in. But once you're in there, it is cool. It lives up to its name.
Yeah, it's all in the woods.
Yep, and the walking trail around the thing is really nice. You can bring your dog and kind of do a whole loop. Long Lake Park is probably the best place to go on a hot day. It can get a little crowded, but the grass goes all the way down to the water, and it's sloped down. So when you go there with your kids, you can be up at the top of the hill, and they can be playing in the water, and you can still see what's going on with your kids down in the water.
If you do need a place to take your dogs, there is a big, huge dog park. It's completely fenced. It's out in the Hawks Prairie area. It is by the dump, but it doesn't smell bad out there. But it's huge, and the dogs just run. It's a good place. It's a little bit of a hike from my house. Crossing Lacey takes probably about 15-20 minutes for me to get there, but I will tell you, my dogs are very happy. So if Lacey's a place that you want to explore, you want more information on, you're thinking about moving to, or maybe you're just coming here on vacation and you're trying to figure out some things to do, hopefully this video helps. We do have the Hawks Prairie video that is a lot about the Hawks Prairie area in Lacey, and there'll be other neighborhoods coming, so keep your eye out. But if you've got any questions, please reach out. We'd love to answer them or show you around.